her new life in Houston, Texas, married to a youth pastor, but she had given no thought to what it would be like to live that far from her family for the first time. She didn't know how to cook anything except mac and cheese, had never balanced her own checkbook, and for many years still thought makeup, shoes, and hair accessories were essentials.
Well, I stood at the front of the church in a rented wide-lapelled tuxedo and awesome mullet, waiting for my beautiful fiancée to come down the aisle. I wasn't thinking about our uncertain future, the challenges of ministry, or the complexity of marriage. I was thinking about the wedding night. When this ceremony was over, we would finally get into a limo and head to the Henry VIII Hotel with a heart-shaped jacuzzi tub. It was almost as cheesy as it sounds. By this time tomorrow, all the hopes and dreams of my 20 years of life would be fulfilled. Even though I didn't spend much time thinking about our future, I knew we would be fine. I had a new job in Houston, working as a youth pastor for my father. So after the honeymoon, we were moving 900 miles away from Sherry's friends and family. The job paid $20,000 a year. I remember wondering what we'd do with all that money. Sherry had just finished her freshman year of college, so she would be a full-time student, work a part-time job, and help me in the youth ministry. What could go wrong? I don't remember much about the wedding. I remember Sherry looking amazing in her white dress and floppy hat. She sang a Karen Carpenter tune, my request, which was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. We plighted troths, death do us parted, and exchanged rings. The food at the reception looked amazing, but I didn't get a chance to eat any. Finally, we were off on the honeymoon, two barely adults on a vacation alone. We had a blast. A week later, we loaded the few things Sherry owned, hitched her 1974 olive green Dodge Dart to a 20-foot U-Haul truck, and headed to Houston. A few miles out of town, Sherry began to cry. She cried through Missouri, Arkansas, and into Texas. She was 19 years old and moving hundreds of miles away from home to live with me. No wonder there were tears. For the first time, I started to think about what I'd gotten us into. Sherry was leaving behind everyone she loved. I was going to work for my father. We had no money, and I was going into full-time ministry without a clue. I fought back a few tears of my own on that long ride down Interstate 44. What were we thinking? All these years later, we are still on the long ride of doing ministry and marriage together. We've gained two amazing kids and two beautiful granddaughters and a handsome grandson, and we've lost 4 grandparents and my mom along the way. We've had 4 dogs, multiple fish, and a frog named Jumper, who met his maker after jumping in the sewer. We've been youth pastors, children's pastors, school teachers, administrators, and consultants. Sherry has been a CEO, and I've been Rick Warren's driver for a day. The journey has been wonderful and awful, scary, and fun. There are times ministry is a disaster and our marriage is on life support, and times ministry is amazing and our marriage sparkles. 30-plus years of marriage and ministry together is a long time. We have learned and are still learning a lot along the way, and we have had some incredible experiences. We are amazed we've had opportunities to teach thousands of leaders, meet world leaders, and lead ministries that impact tens of thousands of people. We are very average people whom God uses in spite of ourselves. We are jealous of ministry couples we see on Facebook with perfect churches, perfect kids, and perfect hair. We wish we had their lives, but we don't. We wish it hadn't taken us 25 years of marriage before we learned to pray together. We wish we had taken our kids on amazing memory-making trips on their milestone birthdays instead of to dinners at Applebee's. We wish every day was a new experience of spiritual insight and revelation instead of budgets and board meetings. What we are realizing after doing ministry together for so long is that we will never be the Facebook couple, but we can fiercely love each other, our family, and the people we minister to. Something else we're learning is that there are more ministry couples like us than the perfect couples on Facebook. Most of the couples we talk to struggle with the same questions we do. How do you prioritize your spouse when ministry is all-encompassing? How do you raise kids who are semi-normal and love Jesus in the fishbowl of ministry? How do you discover whether God is calling you to be faithful or move on when ministry knocks you down? That is why